In Blender 2.6, let's create our lunar lander for our lunar lander animation. The scene already has a default cube, so we can use that. What we need to do is build some legs for our lander, and we need to build a rocket engine, and we're just going to keep it really simple. So starting with the cube, what I think we should do is I'm going to go into edit mode by hitting the tab key. You can also do that here on this menu. Go to edit mode. I'm going to choose face select mode and right click just the top face. I'm going to move away from that, hit S on the keyboard, scale that down some, and with my manipulator arrow here, which is activated down here in this menu, you've got the manipulator, translate manipulator, the rotate, and the scale, and by holding shift you can activate all of those. I'll left click on that and pull this down some, and here this will be the basic shape of my lander's body, and then I want to create legs that slope down these various sides. So I'm going to go ahead and go out of edit mode back to object mode, and I'm going to add a cylinder to create legs from. So let's go to the add menu, and let me see, where's my 3D cursor first of all. Just put that cursor right there. Go to the add menu, mesh, cylinder. Okay, now this cylinder, it has more sides than I want, so before I do anything to it, I'm going to come down to this menu over here, and I'm going to shift click with the left mouse in here, and I'm just going to cut this down to 12 and hit enter because I don't need as many sides as I have there, and tab to go into edit mode, and I'm going to scale this down in edit mode to about the thickness I want for a leg. Okay, now I hit number 1 on the number pad there, changing my view and just zooming in, and I'm going to move these vertices in edit mode down to the point where the origin, that little orange dot where the cursor is, that little orange dot, I want that to be at the end. So now the piece rotates about its origin, and interestingly enough, if I scale it now using the manipulator or using the S key, it scales from the origin, and there's a setting for that down here about where things scale from. So, and they'll scale from the origin, and that's why we're moving it. This also creates the rotational point. So now let's just click on that little square to make our leg, and now I want to move this whole object over, and I am in object mode. Move it over right to the corner of my lander body. Okay, now I want to match this angle here, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to rotate this. Let's see, go switch from global first of all to local rotation, and I'm going to rotate this until I've got the green axis here, or the red, but I'm using the green, the y-axis rotator aligned here, or the red axis arrow, either one. They're both the same. So now you see how that's lined up right on the edge there, and now I can select the green rotator manipulator and turn that up. Alright, so there's that step. Now here's a neat step we can do. We're actually going to move the origin of this to the center of our body. So we're going to select our body with a right click. We're going to snap, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then we're going to select this leg. We're going to move its origin to the cursor. So I'm going to press the space bar for the search menu and type in origin, and you'll see something that says set origin. So I'll do set origin and origin to 3D cursor. So now this object's origin's been moved to the 3D cursor. I'll change back to global rotation. It's number 7 on the number pad for the top view. Now I'm going to duplicate this leg. Well, before we do that, I better do something else. Better make a foot for it. Okay, let's go over here and make a foot. I'll put the cursor right there. And we're going to go ahead and add another cylinder. And S key to scale that down. And scale it in this direction. And move it down here. And we'll just adjust that a little bit with these arrows. Alright, so now let's go ahead and join these two items. I'm going to select this item down here with a right click so it's highlighted. Shift, select this item, and we're going to go to the object menu and join these objects. So now this has been joined to this, which is important. That keeps our origin right here. If you join them the other way, you'll find that the origin's down here with this object. So undo and then join them in the correct order. Alright, now that we have a foot on it, we can go back to a top view. That's number 7 on the number pad. And I'm going to duplicate and rotate. So I'm going to do a Shift D. That duplicates the item. Now I'm immediately going to hit R for rotate, and we can rotate off a copy. And then I'm going to hold the Control key to constrain this to 5-degree increments. And then I will left click to place that. And we'll do it again. Shift D to duplicate, R key to rotate, hold Control, and move the leg over. Shift D to duplicate, R key to rotate, and then hold Control to constrain. So there we have 4 legs now. So now let's use another cylinder to create a rocket engine. But let's do something a little different. We'll use a circle. Let's see, where's our 3D cursor now? It's over here. Let's bring it to the center here by selecting this object, right clicking it, Shift S, snap cursor to center. Or let's see, snap cursor to selected. Yeah, they both work well here because the object center and the selected center are the same. So now we're going to add a mesh circle. Okay, so you see the circle we have here, and let's go ahead now and move it down right here. And this is going to have a large rocket engine, but I don't think it needs to be that big, so I'm going to hit the S key, scale that a bit. Alright, now let's go ahead and move it up a bit. Let's build our rocket engine. Okay, I'm going to turn off this manipulator right now so you can see that object. Tab to go into edit mode. So go to vertice select mode, and A to select them all. Okay, so see what we've got there. So back to the side view. Okay, now we're going to extrude, and to do this you hit the E key, and then you can just move the objects right off, and you're going to be able to move them freely. If you want to constrain, you can click the middle mouse or hit an axis key like Z, and it will constrain to a certain axis. So I'm just going to extrude a little bit, and then we're going to do E again, and I'm going to hit Z. But this time now I'm going to scale it a little bit. E, and then hit Z, and scale it a little more, and E, and Z, and scale that a little more. And now we have our rocket engine there. And to give this a little depth on the edge here, we'll go back into edit mode, hit the Z key right here, which is a visibility if you don't have something you're manipulating, and you can see that ring selected. We'll A key to deselect all, and I'm going to select this outer ring, and if I right click I just get a vertex, but if I hold the shift key and right click, where's the control, let's see, alt, it's the alt key, hold the Alt key and right mouse. Depending on where I click, I can get an entire loop. Okay, and now we're going to E for extrude. I'm going to click to confirm the extrusion, and then I hit the S key to scale. And let me show you what that is. I'll go to Z here. And so we've got that. And then again, I'm going to hit the E key to extrude, the Z key to select the Z axis and move that up a bit. And I'm not going to build a complete inside. I'm just going to do that right there to give that thruster a little lip. And then up top here, I'm not really totally thrilled with the way this looks. So let's go ahead and select that, go into edit mode, and we're going to extrude, E key, and then left mouse click, S key to scale, E key to extrude, Z key to constrain. Let's see, Z, there we go. So there we have a simple little lander. And last thing I want to do is make sure that when we move a part of it, that all the other pieces move with it. So let's do a little parenting here. We'll make this center object our main object, and these will make children of it. So I'm going to select these other pieces, holding down the Shift key, and then I'm going to select lastly this center object, and I'm going to choose Object, Parent, Set, Object. And now if I grab the center object, grab this object, all the other pieces move with it. Before we save and close our lander object, I want to set it to be sitting at the origin. And let's do number 1 view here on the side. I'm going to grab this piece and move it up. So that it's sitting at ground level and it's sitting at 0, 0, 0, or right over 0, 0, 0. And I want to name this piece, it's right now named cube. Shift click on that and call it lander. And you can see that the other parts, if we expand this, are connected to it, and we can select them individually, and we can name them too, lander leg. Let's see, control click that, lander leg. Okay, lander dash leg, leg, how about that? And if you control click it, lander dash leg, control click, lander dash leg, and this circle, we'll name that thruster. And this object is the cube mesh, so we'll just name that lander part. There we go. Okay, so now we have the lander group, and we want to go ahead and say File Save As. Oh, let's go ahead and go out of edit mode, go to object mode, File, Save As, and we'll save it as lander. And if you don't have it typed in here, just go ahead and type it into this field right here, and we'll go ahead and save that.